you doing? Hi. Elliot. Hello.
Please remember, I made this wish for you. 'Cause I'm moving to outer space. Cause I'm moving to outer space. What do you think all this space is for? Isn't there something more? What do you think all this space is for? Something more than fighting a war. Earth's destruction. Something more than fighting a war.
How's everybody doing today? I can't hear you. That sucks for this kind of crowd. How you doing? It's nice to measure distance by blocks, not miles, you know? It's good. I walked from Chicago to Washington, D.C. I'm here. I'm here with 20 other people who walked with us today, and Elliot joined in Cleveland. What else? Gordy started in Youngstown, Ohio. And we've walked, I've walked over 980 miles now. Wow. You guys, thanks. It's about bringing consciousness to this war. And if we can start with anything, anything possible to bring this war back to the front page of the newspaper, we're doing our jobs as activists. If you guys can think of anything in your heads that can make this war come back to the front page, do it now. We're doing it now today with this rally. We're doing it with our walks in the streets. We're doing it despite everything that in our heads, anything from our peers that says we shouldn't do anything. Those people don't know what they're talking about. And until we actually decide once and for all to do what we can to bring this war to an end, this war will continue. So you make sure that you do what you can now. I had a formal speech prepared because of what happened to Reverend Yearwood. Does everybody know who Reverend Yearwood is? No doubt you've all seen the YouTube videos. You guys know this is wrong. How many of you, if I raise a hand, I just need to know how many people actually don't know what happened to Yearwood yesterday? All right. Yesterday afternoon, just outside the Petraeus hearing, my dear friend and leader, Reverend Yearwood, was barred by Capitol Police from entering the public meeting. The Reverend had waited for over 2 hours to be a part of the meeting. He's a completely nonviolent, pacifist, very loving man. The Reverend had waited over 2 hours, and when told he couldn't or risk arrest, that is, couldn't enter the meeting, the Reverend responded, "I don't think I'll let you arrest me." They threatened to arrest him, but he said no. 6 police officers then threw the Reverend to the ground. He hit his head, he broke his leg, and he ended up in the hospital less than 15 minutes later. We were not allowed to see him. They were not giving us visiting rights to even assess his injuries. Even his legal representation wasn't allowed into the room until today. 1 o'clock was his arraignment. The man has not been able to be charged formally for anything since that time, since the time of his arrest. This man who broke no laws, was charged with no crime, who raised no fist, is right now locked up in a hospital. I think he's left now. His head wedged between the ground and a policeman's knee. His legs tangled in a knot across the tiled floor. Reverend Yearwood, a known pacifist, is being charged with assaulting a policeman. Those of you who've seen the YouTube videos know this is absolutely a fabrication on the part of the police. For telling the authority one simple word, no. And in no, I will not allow you, as in no, I will not allow you to trample over my children with my horses. You guys saw the YouTube video of Tina Richards about 2 days ago. You were there, Adam, yeah. As in no, I will not remain silent when your lies make soldiers die. As in no, I will not let you bash my head against the floor while you pompously call this land the land of the free. From his stretcher at George Washington Hospital, the Reverend has issued the creed of this era. He has uttered the greatest commandment of this movement. In one word, defiance of tyranny and the refusal of complacency have been declared. You may trample us with your horses. This is a message to those people out there waiting to arrest us right now. You may trample us with your horses. You may throw us in your jails. You may wedge our heads between stone floors and stormtroopers. But there comes a time when silence in the name of injustice is America's greatest terrorist. And so today, we shout at the tops of our voices, in the name of the Constitution, in the name of humanity, in the name of God Almighty, the heaven and the earth, we say no, and we will not be silenced. I want to tell you something about my walk because I think this may reflect on where we are in this movement. I started my walk against the war alone. It was in Chicago, 900 miles and 3 months ago. 980 miles and 3 months ago. I had expected 15 people from across the country to join me. I had a support vehicle, rest houses, and sponsorships. I was hoping for all of this. Little of this came to pass. And by the end of the first day, I was told by those who were with me that the march should end, that I should turn around and go back to my house. I had a choice to make the war win over me or let the sound of no resound. But I said no then, and today I carry it from the bedside of the bravest civilian I know. The Reverend says no, and so do I. I want you guys to repeat this after you hear the rhythm here. To the deaths of 29 people an hour, we say no. No. To a $500 billion war, we say no. To the 9/11 half-truths and lies, we say no. To the tyranny, secrecy, and complacency, we say no. To the leech we call the war machine, we say no. To Bush and Cheney and the entire Bush regime, we say no. Thank you.